introduction. Okay, let's do this, guys. Let's go in game and introduce these players. But just before we do, Bragf's coming in with the sub. Let's get some Wardy hearts in the chat, please, for Bragf's. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, mate. Do appreciate for the kind words as well that you put in the chat. Let's go. Snute's there as well. Here we have him to the top right-hand side of the map, the red Zerg player from Team Liquid. It is, of course, Snute. His opponent bottom left side. Currently building units in his opponent's base. It is Haas. This is why I wanted to start casting this right away, because there's a pylon block coming in. A pylon block that Snute doesn't see. And there's going to be cannon rush coming up behind this. So Snute has no idea about this currently. He will see it the first time about now. He sees one pylon. He'll see two pylons. He'll see three pylons. And he's going to realize that he's in a little bit of trouble up there. Probably wants to go into a roach roar and roaches to deal with this, because he's not going to be able to just use Zerglings to really kind of fight those cannons alone at this point. Multiple cannons coming down on the low ground. Did this guy even need an introduction? We probably could have just said, and guess who this Protoss player is. You know, you guys probably would have known who we were talking about. And also going to be seeing a couple lings nibbling away in the high ground. Probes and the cannon on the low ground are just going to work their way through that hatchery already. If we get through this pylon, just getting access down kind of towards the low ground, at least with units from the main base. And we set up in towards this. So a couple of cannons, three cannons going to work their way through this. Now this is heavily committed from Haas. So even losing this base from Snute is not the end of the world. He does actually have a drone out to make the third hatch over here, which means it's not, again, completely terrible for him in this current situation. Currently a Queen working his way through that pylon as well, up on the high ground. I think he's going to try and help to just speed that process. So if he gets rid of high ground vision, he can get rid of this pylon. Once that pylon's dead, once this cannon's dead, it can go a bit better for him too. This cannon, this one carol actually going to come down here. There's actually only this pylon left really powering these cannons. So if you can just burrow this down here somewhere, the probe's going to try and stop it. All you have to do is burrow it out of range of the cannons, but in range of the pylon. You should be good. A little bit further back. There we go. And Snute is going to be able to work his way through that pylon. So he's going to be able to work his way through that, as we see Snute just continue to expand. Meanwhile, the Protoss player expands himself. Cybercore coming up to try and standardize his next stages of this game, I guess. Another pylon does build just behind these cannons to keep them powered at least, but Snute is starting to make progress through this. Now we do see a probe going to check these other bases, and we are going to realize now for Haas that he sees the other bases coming up. Not this one, but he does see this one on the third. So haven't seen that now. See what he does against it. You can see this Queen just working his way through that pile. A couple of Zerglings here going to be taking some shots as well. Not going to be taking some shots at it. They're just waiting patiently for their opportunity. Two Stargates on the way from Haas as a follow-up. Now, of course, Haas popularized the Mass Oracle playstyle, which became a big part of the meta. We just saw Mana using it heavily against Sterile in the previous series. Let's see what Haas comes out with on his double Stargate. Expecting those Oracles, but maybe he goes super old school or something and starts throwing out some Phoenix as a possibility. I guess we'll find out in the next few moments. Sprinkle Burrows will be relocating shortly as soon. Again, still looking comfortable as he gets set up under his extra bases now. He will, with Sweetlands coming in, be able to really start a fight against these cannons. He will clean this up. So a nice clean up here by Snute in the end. And he is going to be able to regain control of his natural. Will not need a fourth base immediately healed, though. Will not be too far off taking one, because he has got the third base of Haas coming down to deal with. The Snute, other than that, will start getting up Spore Crawlers against the Oracles. And after he gets rid of the Spore Crawlers up, just wants to keep on building Queens, gather them together, making sure he has the anti-edic to deal with those. Obviously a lair and then eventually a Hider Den as well would be a good way to go about this. The Zergling's going to run down the left-hand side, going to dart in towards that third base and jump themselves onto that pylon nice and quickly. Overcharge will come down and the Zergling will fall as it takes a few... will just fall there, gets picked off pretty swiftly. So Zergling going down, and other than that, well, we see the two Oracles will obviously look to try and do a little bit more here for the next few moments. So we'll continue to move around. And those two Oracles going to go up to right now. Again, just see what they can maybe get done in the next few moments. Actually going to come in, and Queen's already starting to do a little bit of damage. Oracle getting some good shots as well. More Queens! Not quite enough, though. Those Oracles just about managing to survive, and they will just sit to the right side here. They are down very low on health, but 4 kills, still alive. They get their shields back, they'll make it out of here most likely. And they can join up with their Oracle buddies, which are on the way up back on the other side of the map still. Yeah, just going to see the Phoenix working its way through this Overlord. As the game begins to stabilize and standardize to some extent. Snoot's about to get a 4th base up against the 3 base Zerg player. +1 missile upgrade, we've seen this all weekend long. So far on WCS Montreal, it's expected, it's the way you deal with the mass Oracle play. And now an infestation pick coming down as well to also get set up against this. Then we've seen the 11 extra drones on the way out here still. Again, that infestation pit about halfway done as we do see the Phoenix picking away, and we'll actually get rid of this Overlord now. So Overlord drops. And again, just going to be seeing the Hydra down on the way up as well from Snute. So Hydra down on the way up here. These 2 oracles still moving around. He's kind of just hiding everything else a little bit. So what's Snute's actual information in this game? He hasn't seen the Stargates. Any of them. Where's the rest of the oracles? He only actually has 4 oracles right now. That's just taking a little while to kind of build up into these. He hasn't lost any, he just didn't build any for a while. Hasn't been just purely kind of focusing on the oracles, I guess. You see Revelation dropping, but doesn't really hit on too much. Still just following these oracles around to see where they can head to. Yeah, Fiend Fest just continue to come on up. So Snute getting the kind of composition he needs to fight this. Although right now he's only on Queen Infestor. He has got the Hydra Den up. He's just really focusing on the Infestors, the Queens, the units which are going to build up energy initially. Then get the Hydras out when he feels he needs them. He'll love this, by the way. He'll love playing with Infestors. He loves getting to play in towards the later game scenario. He's going to be absolutely adoring the position he's in right now, getting a chance to get Infestors up early and all the rest of it. Revelation comes down on the 3rd base, and just going to be seeing Haas backing away slightly. You're going to see Probes moving around too. Hive on the way up, Spire dropping down. Snute again establishing this in the early stages. Just wants to go straight in towards the Hive Tech, the Greater Spire, the Broodlords. At the end, this is where Snute gets to play in his element, and it is the direction he's heading in as we speak. Spore helping to push things back, as well as we are going to see these oracles again just looping down through the south side. The thing is, you know, Haas doing this kind of a month or 2 ago, Snute might have had a lot of trouble with it. Nowadays, Snute's probably played this against this on the ladder so frequently anyways, and he's probably not going to be all too worried. The thing is, Haas does do it in a very special way, already throwing down extra Stargates and starting to go in towards the Fleet Beacon. He's getting ready to take the, take this into kind of the super late stages now. He wants to go in towards a few Tempests, of course, and get set up there. The Fleet Beacon just going to finish on up. Greater Spire starting to build, the Lurker Den is on the way as well. 4 carriers of Haas currently on the way out, so getting those up, getting those ready to go. Obviously the big Skytoss transition coming in, that's why Snute's also heading in towards his own late game. He wants to make sure that when Skytoss comes up, he's going to have a way to deal with it. Although the Greater Spire, the Broodlords don't necessarily do a lot about that, but it still is something you can use as kind of a ground-to-air or an air-to-ground unit, in case there is something left on the ground. Although that said, what does Haas even have on the ground? 1 Zealot? Did he even get Warp Gate? No. Doesn't even... yeah, I was about to say, did he even get Warp Gate? No, is the answer. He's playing a Warp Gateless PVZ. You guys say, you guys say, oh, catches a fungal, a very good fungal or 2. Well, that changes a lot here, because now those oracles disappear. Snute, that's a big win for him. Those Infestors becoming very important right there. But yeah, I was just about to say, what was I even about to say as another oracle goes down? I was about to say, playing Warp Gateless game. Well, now he can't warp in anything super quickly to help defend. He's trying to mass up cannons. These Hydras are just going to start pushing in some Infested Terrors to try and bait some shots at the front. To try and help bust on through this position. The Carriers are not ready just yet, and Snute is going to make the most of that fact. He's actually going to cancel 1 from building, cancel 2 from building. And so already it's just going to be 4 carriers instead of 6. This entire third Nexus is going to be in so much trouble. Lings, Hydras, steamrolling on in, just to clean up this Nexus and to go from there. For more probes taking some extra damage too. Another Stargate about to go down. And the signal's just going to run on in, and we're just going to be seeing the big cancel on the 5th base. I mean, Snute, does he not know this base is up here? He does, just a lot of cannons there that he'll have to fight against, but it's probably worthwhile. Carriers are starting to pop, but they're going to take a little while to come up in this direction, so Snute's going to push on through. Carriers going, again, not going to be in position, and the cannons are going down pretty quickly. Haas is going to be restricted to just 2 bases here in the next few moments. The Snute starts 11 invests in the production tab of Neuroparasite on the way, giving us a bit of an inkling as to just how he might be expecting to deal with this in the near future. Some probes will not be allowed to leave as these interceptors come on in, but still. Actually, these Hydras continue to fight. Finally, the carriers will start targeting the Hydras down instead. Snute up at 180 supply to the 100 of Haas. Feeling good, looking good. More cannons up here. The Lings will run up and they will find this space, but again, there's a good few cannons. The Lings already surrounded and the cannons will begin to fall. As the cannons fall, the Lings will continue to make progress through, and there isn't any warpins to be able to help defend this. It's all about the cannons to help defend these sort of positions. As you'll see one more going down. We might actually see the cannons being good enough to hold off for now. You might have to see some more Zerglings coming out here in the near future. Snute looking good though, doing everything he needs to do right now, keeping himself in a good position. And we're just going to be seeing those Hydras again coming through the top. See what he can do next. Might as well join up together. So many investors. So the Hydras push through here. I mean, this time the cannons will not survive this, right? Overship core is here for one single overcharge. But yeah, and cannons go down, and Haas is going to be denied yet another base. He's got his probes up here too. And there's no engine on that mothership core to just recall them away. Oracle looking for the revelation. Infest is still forward and hidden underground. Neuroparasite available, remember. If he's able to come in with the Neuroparasites on top of those carriers, could be huge. For now, he's just going to funnel growth the interceptors and try and stop them from moving around so much. Some of the infestors taking some damage. There's the Neuroparasite starting to come on through. And it looks as though Snute is just going to be able to control all of them, allowing him to just continue. Haas types out GG, the first game of the day. An attempted sky toss play, but Snute is just a little bit too crisp with his timings. He makes it work out for himself, and he takes game number 1. As well for the kind words, guys. Do appreciate. If you do enjoy the casting, again, that follow button is right there, so you see when I'm live again in the future. I stream StarCraft 2 every day, more or less. Casting live most days of the week, unless we really struggle to find something to cast. So check that out. Hit that follow button. It's free to click. And let's go into game. Well, here you guys going a little bit crazy as we introduce these players. Well, here you guys telling us who you're supporting. So if you're cheering on the red Zerg on the top left-hand side, let's start hearing it in the chat. From Team Liquid, it is Snute. Snute says Nimzobo, sorry. Snute says Bragas. Carrara, Snute. From Yama Pickle goes Snute coming in from Mario Hammer. Zerg all the way from Meg7562. Love the stream, Wardy. Good job as always. Thanks for the stream, says Link on the side. Thank you again for some kind words. Lots of Snutes coming in the chat from Dana, Flamco, Isolda, Dias as well. So we've got some Snute emotes coming in from CJM and from Supernan and from Emil Taunt. Alright. There's a lot of Snute coming down the chat. A lot of Snute hype right now. His opponent right here to the bottom right is that blue Protoss player, though he's the one who could, well, make anything happen. Let's hear it if you're going to be cheering on the wonder, the mystery that is Haas. Haas says Rat God. Taisha Numeron. I can't say her name. Taisha Numenor says Haas as well. Goes Snute says Samuel 94. Just got my popcorn and Snute's ready. Quick summary of the first game. First game was pretty interesting. Haas started with a cannon rush and kind of walled off Snute's natural expansion from his main. Snute broke out after re-expanding to the 3rd and 4th. It went into a kind of a 3 base against 4 base game where Haas was going mass Oracle. He didn't research Warp Gate. He went into lots of Stargates, not making Oracles, and then started switching to carriers. But Snute caught the Oracles mid-map with a fungal growth, and therefore was able to actually push forward with the Hydras, and he was able to pick off the 3rd base and 4th base before the carriers even came out. And then he basically wrapped the game up with some Neuroparasites onto the carriers, and the Hydra's able to just win the fight. He's very far ahead from having killed all the bases, so it was quite an easy kind of game from Snute in a lot of ways. Like, it felt very easy. Like, even against the initial cannon rush, he didn't panic. He dealt with it. He pushed it back. He got out. He came out in a good position. And from there, he just kept his nerve and he looked for the opportunities. He found some opportunities to do some bits and pieces as well. And again, as we mentioned, it was very solid as we do just continue to set on up. Let's see, we'll just overhead 3rd hatchery from Snute on the way up as well. The Stargate is about to finish here too. Remember that Snute is just trying to get as many WCS points as he can to stay in the top 8 of WCS, by the way. The more he get, you know, every round he advances, well, already advancing into round of 8 would be great, because already True is in the round of 8. And if True's in the round of 8 and he isn't, then Snute will be passed by True, and that means if Showtime wins the entire event, Snute could get knocked out of the WCS Global Finals top 8 list from the WCS circuit. Phoenix comes in from Haas and is starting to nibble his way through an Overlord here already, so Overlord is going to get picked off. Well, probably going to, well, yeah, he's going to get picked off. Something's going to counterattack, they're going to go straight for this Adept and then onto the Nexus afterwards, I imagine. It's a nice little pickup by Snute, and he'll be trying to cancel his third Nexus nice and early. It's just a single Stargate for now from Haas in the early stages. In this game, he does actually research that warp gate as well, which is obviously a bit of a difference from the last game too. I mean, we didn't see pylons blocking Snute's natural from his main this time around, so it's been much more standard, honestly, from Haas. And for Twilight coming down, he isn't even looking to play that Mass Oracle style, so we're going to play a bit more standard, a little bit more straight up as we continue to set up into this. What's up, IPX74 coming in with that sub as well. Getting some love in the chat for another new sub. It's September, guys, so if you've ever thought about supporting the stream, it's a great time to start. Half price off your first subscription to any channel on Twitch. And we're only 5 subscribers away from our most ever subs on a channel, which is just crazy as well. So thank you so much, everyone who has been supporting continually over the years. Killero said on the stream, on the main stream, top 4 are safe, with 5 to 8 can only be passed to lose someone to their spot, not in the top 8 who wins the event like Showtime. Yes! But that's the whole point, right? Because if Showtime wins, whoever's in 8th place currently will then be knocked out. That was True entering this event. And obviously True, Snute, and Kelos are all within the sort of range of, you know, 1 round difference will put some ahead of the others. And so it really is a matter of going as far as you can to make sure you stay in that top 8 in case Showtime comes through and wins, or someone like Scarlet could come through and win and go to BlizzCon as well, potentially. So that is the situation we're talking about when it comes to the BlizzCon seeds. These probes have just been going down in the meanwhile, guys. I know we've just been following those links, but it's where all the action is at. Even the oracles don't move across the map, as we see. By the way, 8 gates are building, and this is not going to be... I don't know why he's building the third Nexus. It really is just a fake, I think. The reality is Haas is going to go all in. You know, 9 gates in total. Masses of Zealots. Is he even mining gas right now? He is mining some gas. I guess that's because he is actually still making some oracles as well. So, he's mining some gas, these oracles coming up. But it's going to be a lot of Zealots going across the map. He's cut workers on 42. It doesn't look as though he's got any intention of making more to actually utilize this third Nexus. Not just yet, at least. Let's see if Snute's going to have a way to defend this. For now, he's just making Lings. Lings alone against 9 Zealots at a time. Will not be too pretty, though. Lings coming in, you're going to see those oracles. Oracles obviously will help a lot, too, especially if it's the Hydras that come out to try and help defend as well. So he comes in at the front again. Hasn't really seen enough to figure this out just yet, I don't think. I mean, he is doing the right thing of just making units, but 67 drones. These are just a few too many. First big wave of Zealots coming forwards, and now Snute will really know what's up. He sees them, immediately runs away. The Zealots, a lot of them start charging very far forwards very quickly. Queens are going to go after the oracles. He actually has the Banelet Nest. I didn't realize this for Snute, but the Banelet Nest will be a huge way to help defend. Great stasis, what he actually catches. 4 of the Hydras trying to morph in, and that will make quite a difference here. Snute, well, he's trying to target down the Warp Prism with the Queen. If he could get it, it would be huge as Banes trying to do their job, but the Banes are being picked off by a couple of the oracles. Snute trying to get some more units up right now. Sassus is about to kind of conclude over here. More Lings, more Banes on the way. Problem is he's lost his oracles. Oh, he's lost his anti-air. If he gets these Hydras out and he targets the Warp Prism, that would be huge. Those Hydras popping. Maybe Snute's saviors right now, as we're going to be seeing the Hydras turn around once again. The Zealots still taking some more damage. And we're just going to be seeing the Zealots continue to drop too. Ling's going to run on forward. We're going to be seeing the Zealots still getting picked away at here. So Zealots still going down. 40 drones killed in this attack, but Snute has held it off and he's kept his army supply up. You got to remember the tech here for the Protoss player is almost non-existent. Snute will begin to re-drone while counter-attacking. Let's see what he can do against. Really is just a massive Zealots. You know, as a way to kind of help deal with this. Just coming on down in this direction already. Lings are going to surround these first couple of Zealots. In terms of units on the map, there's literally only... Well, there is actually 8 more Zealots somewhere. Where are they? They're actually going around the left-hand side. Overcharge will deflect the Zerglings for now, and Haas will hold on. I think he might have done enough of this attack. Snute just didn't really see it coming. And now he's very far behind here in terms of the supply. Hydra's coming in. We are going to be seeing the Zealots just taking damage again. We are going to be seeing a whole bunch of that damage being dealt. Only 4 drones going down for those. Gets the Hydra as well, but I mean, those are the sort of cleanups that are going to keep Snute in an army supply lead. He's re-droning now as well, and as he re-drones, I mean, the options are still there for him. We still got to remember the lack of tech on the map for Haas is a real issue. He really doesn't have a lot other than a very low number of oracles and just pure zealots. Like, really, I mean, it's just not enough right now. There's also no upgrades for Haas as well, which is another benefit for Snute here in this game. Oracle's coming up the top side to see what they can do. Zergling's pushed back by the extra zealot warpins. And there's Hydra's gonna try and maybe push forward to try and do something as Spore Crawler comes in and Snute just moves away from these Hydras as the Oracles fly in. It's very unfortunate time. He gets one in the end. 7 drones lost. Obviously, Snute is not in the position to be losing drones at the moment, but he is on the way back up there in terms of the supply. Again, some good run bys by Snute, good pressure. Templar Archives now down, and High Templars will be starting to make Archons. Those Archons come into play will start to change a lot of bits and pieces as well here. And as we do have the Zealots, the Archon just setting up right now for Haas. Flyers on the way out. And again, all those Zerglings just relocating around to see where they can go, to see what they can get up to. Snute can still win this. Go, 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 says it's all during the chat. Yes, I definitely think so. I don't think the situation, obviously losing 40 drones is never great. I think it comes out a lot more even than it seems because of the fact he's got an upgrade, because he's been able to re-drone, because it took Haas so long to follow up the attack, because he had no tech initially anyways, and even still, it's only 3 Archons with this massive Zealots. If there's some Banes that come into play, and those Zealots disappear, well, this could be still problematic, I think, for Haas. Things working their way through these rocks. The Oracles will see this and the army will come in to respond, but Snute pulls away before he loses anything. Just one Zealot managing to charge and get a single swipe off onto the Zergling at the back of that army. And again, get some Banes up though. The Banes are going to be a huge factor in this. I mean, you're able to roll some Banes into those Zealots, although no Bane speed, so it will be more waddling than rolling. You get those Banes in towards the Zealots, and you deal with a lot of your initial issue here as Haas is jumping up towards this ram. Banes moving towards Zealots. Few of them leading the charge, but you really need to use the Banelings on that. There's only a few that were really in range there. Now that Templar Archive has been put to use as we see the Storm coming into play, realizing that the Lingane Hydra composition is here, Storm is almost an essential addition to be able to help deal with those Banes, and also to help kind of wither away the Hydras a bit and make them a bit more engageable. So seeing all these units gathering around, we're going to see the Lings and Hydras working their way through these rocks. Rocks will be dropping in just a few moments, and as those rocks drop, we'll see Zealots and Banes going to move on forwards. The Banes already actually doing quite a bit here. The Archons taking some damage as well as they, well, I mean, they're tanking the Banes though, so it's not the end of the world. The problem is Snute has this very large push coming forwards right now, and as he pushes forwards right here, Snute just has so much. Even without the Bane speed, it's still a bit of a threat. And the High Templar in the back, man, Bane speed and they would be dead already. The Banes do manage to connect on a bunch of the probes at the very least, even if they don't get the High Templar, which are saving up energy for Storms. The Storm upgrade itself is just maybe going to be a bit too late. So more Banes looking to see where they can go. They'll just get the Zealots to help give the Hydras a little bit more longevity. And it is just Snute going to have to split things up right now. A couple of Lings going in. The Hydras are here. Passes down to 2 bases. 28 workers killed. Snute returns. Makes a comeback in this game. And he goes 2-0 up in the Snute versus Haas, sorry. We do have to the top left-hand side from Team Liquid, our red Zerg player. It is Snute. He's going up against the blue Protoss to the lower right-hand side. It's Haas. This could be our last game of the day. Will be our last game. If it is the last game for us, then it is our last game of WCS Montreal. But it's been a brilliant event to cover. Hopefully you guys enjoyed our coverage yesterday. We had a marathon 10 to 11 hour cast. Today has been a pretty decent length cast as well. It's not been too bad. We've only been live 3 hours today. It kind of feels like a long time because we've had a lot of quick games, but a lot of downtime, which really makes it feel like longer. But we've had some good games, and obviously you guys can enjoy the rest of WCS Montreal when we're done. Over on the main stream as Haas. Because once again, this is what he did in the first game. A gate into a forge. I love this Overlord, just keeping track of the probe. It's kind of cute. Well, pylon's going to start coming down. And Haas is going to start looking to see what he can do with. There's a pylon right there as well. Will be visible by Snute. In fact, he sees both of them. Already one drone coming down to the low ground. That is a wall off. So that is a wall off. Haas has got himself a position behind the mineral line, which is unbreakable at the moment. See how Snute wants to try and deal with this. Cannons will come up behind, cancels one of the pylons. It doesn't need any longer. The thing is with these cannons, they're very out of the way in terms of the fact that if they kill this base, then what? You know, they don't cover the ramp or anything like that. And so it's very easy for Snute to get out towards this base, whichever base he wants to take to keep on expanding. And it's coming through now as well. We'll get rid of this first pylon. That'll be about it. There's another pylon. Oh! It's not in range. Well, we're going to see this first cannon going down. If you're going to keep on committing, you'll get rid of one cannon and then maybe just back away, I suppose. Yes, another cannon gets cancelled. There's 2 cannons on the base, and that will be enough for now, as we're going to see Creep Tumor going down as well. So that's kind of interesting, as we're going to be seeing the couple of cannons working their way through this hatch. Yeah, I mean, Snute kind of dealt with this in the first game without falling too far behind. You'll see this hatchery getting dropped. And so that hatch does begin to come on into play, as again we see this queen working its way through the pylon on the left side. This pylon in the back then will obviously still power the cannons. It's just about making progress towards these cannons, opening up the engagement in from the left, the right, and all the rest of it. Again, the Stargate on the way up as a follow-up, not even on 2 bases yet. Straight into that Stargate, and Haas looking to just keep things going here. Pylon will be taken down again in the next few moments. Again, those zerglings from Snute running around all over the place to see what they can get up to as well. Try and do a little bit more damage. There's Overload here moving around. Also, a couple of drones on the way up. A Queen also. Still just setting up into all of this right now. As Haas finally gets his expansion on the way out. Again, though, delayed it heavily to get a Stargate up, which he's now going to make a Phoenix with. Again, Haas isn't necessarily ahead from this or anything. I think RagF says it in the chat perfectly. It's like, you know, it just forces a bit of an awkward game at this point. Which arguably is Haas's advantage because he prefers to play the awkward games, but Snute is such an experienced player anyways. I don't think it's going to get in his mind too much or anything along those lines. I'm just going to see those drones mining away on the low ground, which is essentially the natural at the moment, but again, I mean, Snute doesn't have to worry about these cannons they'll pylon for a while. Yes, he's in a bit of a more difficult set of bases to defend overall in terms of the spread, etc., but yeah, I mean, it's still manageable, right? It's still manageable. Some more Zeglins. Going to run on down towards the lower right, and just going to see the cannon. Just going to be helping to push that away. And again, 2 more oracles on the way up, and a third Stargate about to finish means that we're going to be able to see this triple Stargate play in oracles en masse yet again here from Haas. Now, again, I mean, he's also once more, again, not upgrading Warp Gate. This is Haas's kind of, you know, he's going to do what he did in game 1. No Warp Gate means he's not going to follow up with like charge slots or a standard follow up. He's going to go Sky Toss right from there. And well, for Snute, his lair's only just starting, so he has to survive a good while here against the oracles with just the queens and the spores. Oracle pops here and we'll get 1 drone, a lava, and then a second drone as well, as that spore core has to cancel. The queens will come in to help push it back. But lack of creep between these bases for now obviously means that it takes a while for Snute to get over there, and that does slow him down and hurt him just a little bit. 3 oracles still on the way up. Lair will be finishing soon. As the lair finishes, we'll see Snute going in towards the next stage of the game for himself. He's going to come down here just to see the 3rd Nexus starting to build. Did he actually just change direction before you saw it? He did. So he didn't actually see the 3rd Nexus, but looking at the front, he's just going to keep checking around. Bane speed, but he is going to go missile upgrade. So he does realize that it's the Oracle playstyle. And that does mean that he's going to have, again, a good setup against this, right? I mean, we've seen Snute deal with this once today. No reason you can't just deal with it a second time around. As we just wait to see what the next stage is. Zergling moving around the gold base again. Bane speed continue to come up right now, about halfway done. Muscular Augment's coming up as well, just starting. +1 missile attack, just starting. Everything for Snute that he needs in the next few minutes. The game is starting to come up. Now that's a lot of energy on the Oracles to get 3 or 4 Zerglings. You know, to activate Pulsar Beam costs like 25 energy, I think, so there's a lot of energy immediately down the drain across all of the Oracles. Energy is a resource here which still has to kind of keep in mind to some extent. As the Oracles start to move over, the first Hydras are really starting to pop out. Green running back in towards the mineral line. 2 Greens and a Hydra going to try and fight this kind of set of units here. More Hydras pop out, the entire mineral line might be in trouble, and this is Snute's issue, just a few seconds away from getting a proper amount of anti-air up right now. A few more Hydras coming in, you can see that he's just starting to push it back. And Haas does have to back away from that there. Actually, Link counterattack gets a couple workers in return for the 3 drones that just went down. And still just going to be seeing these Zerglings of Haas, or Snute, sorry. Just backing away, just going to look to use themselves again later. Love the creep spread down here, by the way. The creep highway straight on down towards the 3rd base of Haas so that he can bring his Hydras and Queens over here quickly and easily when he feels like he has an opportunity to fight against those Oracles. Cannons on the way up, of course, going to be reliant on those rather than actual ground units to defend these bases. Because he doesn't have Warp Gate, he can't warp in anything in defensively. He's just going to completely dedicate his game to the Sky Toss. It's just going to be still moving around here. Gathering up the Hydras now as well. Supplies are even. Snute does not invest into the infestation pit as he did last time around. Spores is going to be finishing up, and again, waiting to see what the next slow movement is from the Protoss player. Actually, I want to see what Haas tries to do with these Oracles. How aggressive does he get? Why does he move around? I love that. This is kind of crazy, but Snute is actually expanding through the top side of the map rather than what is usually kind of a left-hand side set of expansions that Zerg would take in this map. And it's actually meaning that he's moving in towards his opponent's gold base. Yeah, it's almost as though he's trying to be Haas himself, trying to be as creative as Haas, or maybe he's been inspired a bit by TLO. You can see these Oracles going to come in over here, and again a lot of drones going down. This Spore Crawler taking some heavy hits. Oracles just making sure they have a way out after this. The Hydra's going to be continue to run around in circles trying to find out where those Oracles are actually going to end up going. Oracles about to run out of energy again though, and this could be a time for a counterattack actually. Oracles out of energy, nothing really they can do about kind of units across the map. Snute losing 16 drones is a heavy number. He wasn't really able to get anything out of it because the Oracles just had an escape route planned out and they made use of it. There was no way Snute could be in all the places at the same time with enough units to be able to shut those Oracles down, and that's the issue. You kind of have to keep those units kind of gathered up together a lot of the time. Oracles up here going to continue through the top. Again, just more Oracles on the way through for now. We're going to see these couple Lings nibbling away here and there as well. And that +2 missile upgrade finishes up from Snute. Just again opens up other opportunities. Oracle still sat to the top though. More Lings going forward, making it start working their way through. A couple of pylons overcharges will be put down. Haas just taking his way into a 4th base. The gold base from Snute here, which is his 4th. Not going to last very long at all. Those Oracles, I'm pretty sure, will start away their way through, and then Hatchery will go down pretty quickly. As you can see, just being chunked away at. And that is going to be the end of that. And the drones that we're building here cancels a couple of them. No worries at all. Snute. From 3 bases, then, what does he do here? Spire, Hive on the way. I just feel as though it's... I mean, he's preparing for the carrier transition, right? Which is fair enough. It makes sense. He needs to kind of get himself into his own transition. He needs that 4th base on his natural now. He needs to start taking that, and then he can take this base over here as well. Fairly soon. He's not immediately in issues in terms of needing bases, but he needs it sooner rather than later. Oracle still just moving around then. Hero Parasite on the way up from Snute. Looking for a similar situation to the last game. Again though, Haas isn't making the proper Sky Toss sort of setup yet. He's just on 27 Oracles. So right now, Haas is still just sort of playing the Mass Oracle style as well. This is hell of a lot of oracles just flying to Snoot's main. And this actually might be Snute in a lot of trouble here. These Hydras are trying to come up the ramp. Fungal growth will come down so Snute can kite away a little bit and kind of force the oracles to not all fight together. Not enough though, right? I mean, these oracles, okay, a lot go down. Hasso's actually up like 40 supply there for a moment, but Snute picking up a few more oracles as this engagement ended. Really just turn it back around, and while he's not really still in a great position, he's in a playable position, I suppose. 4 more oracles on the way up again now. 27 oracles to 10 on the map. That's heavy losses. Queens around this side. There's queens everywhere as well. Snute. Well, I mean, what do you do though? You push forwards and there's an endless number of cannons here on this space, on this space, on this space. There's not so many, but the cannons obviously make it very difficult for you to actually be able to push on through. We've seen the Forge taking some more, dealing some more damage. You're going to see the Hydras trying to kite backwards here again. The Phoenix are continuing to go down a little bit, lifting up a few of these Hydras. These Hydras on their own though. The Oracle comes down. Fungal comes down and grabs the Oracles, but yeah, the Snute feels like he's losing a heck of a lot and not getting enough value out of these units now. I think this game has just snowballed a little bit too much into Haas's favor. Haas looking to put himself on the scoreboard. It would be our first series of the day that doesn't go to a straight 3-0 victory. Would be nice, actually, to actually cast a 4th game. I just sort of committed myself to saying 3-0 all day already, it seems. Oracle still moving around. Here's the far right, couple Infestors, couple Hydras. 4 more carriers on the way out. Here's the Greatest Spiders also dropping on into play. Great Spire on the way up again. Snute thinking about the real late game here, and he's trying to get up in towards those Brood Lords. These Oracles fighting this hatch. He's going to get rid of what is essentially the 4th base again here. And Snute is still just being kept on only 3 bases. Every single time Snute tries to go anywhere, he's just caught out of position. He's caught unable to do anything at all. And Haas is really taking advantage of that idea. With carriers on the way up. This time, last game I feel Snute was in a position where he's ready to deal with carries because he just won some major fights. This time he really hasn't been winning any major fights, and this time I don't really think Snute's in a position to deal with carriers at all. I mean, he is getting the right sort of things up. He's got some Infestors, he's got Neuroparasites, he's got Highs and Queens. I just don't think it's going to be enough overall, actually. As we're going to be seeing the Highs and Infestors just gathering up together. They are on the aggressive now, but again, there's just so many cannons. Last game, well, in game number 1, he was able to get through those cannons because he basically killed off all the Oracles while the carriers weren't out. So there was no units here allowing him to fight the cannons freely. Clearly, that's not the case this time around. It's a very different setup here, a very different scenario. As Hydras will push through this Nexus, it will fall. Nexus is indeed dropping down right there. So Nexus drops, and we're going to see the Oracles continue to work their way through the hatch on the far right side. Again, Snute's really kind of eager to try and expand there, and yet the funny thing is he's actually having the most trouble taking his own kind of natural expansion still. 15 minutes in, has been denied 3 or 4 times. Creep spread is insane though. And there is one thing which Snute definitely has on his side, a lot of creep to maneuver the map with. But again, does that matter if these units in the sky just kill absolutely everything? Carrier's starting to push back some of this creep outside the 4th base at least, so Haas starting to make some progress there as Snute just looking to max on out. Down heavily in workers though. Snute economy in general has not been good for him lately. In fact, the last 5 minutes dominated by Haas in terms of income. With that dominance from Haas, obviously he's not just going to be maxing out faster, he's also going to create himself the opportunity to build up a bank. He's going to have time to build up a bank before Snute fights, and that's also a bit of an issue as Haas is going to push the front. Get the Cybercore perhaps? Cybercore on the Forge. I mean, they're nice pickoffs. Carriers are way out of position to come and deal with this. Still back away. He's trying to bring some static defense forward, bringing these Spore Crawlers into a bit of an aggressive position for themselves, trying to see what he can do with them. Starts to gather those up. To the left-hand side again, it is going to be a bunch of Oracles moving through, and they will start with their way through this hatchery as well. It will go down. previously it was this base, now it's the base just south of it, which Snute is unable to take. It's actually going to take this base here, which is actually only 5 mineral patches and 3 gases. It's very interesting. You now almost never see it actually being taken on the map. So from the road coming down, it's Phoenix getting picked off, so it's something for Snute. Again, it's not a massive win, but right now I think Snute should be trying to just take what he can. He's trying to get some Corruptors up, and as Corruptors come out though, we see also Void Rays being added in. He does have Vipers. Obviously the choice between Parasitic Bomb and Ducks are going to be a big question in all of this. These units still just gathering together. Again, Carrier's going forwards and cleaning out a whole bunch of these Crypt Tumors as well right now. Carriers moving around, another revelation coming into play, and you know, I was going to be seeing these getting Crypt Tumors getting picked up one at a time. Festus pulling back, Hydra's moving through the center. More Corruptors coming up. Snute is going to be able to max out here, and so that is a big victory for him, being able to max out. Now all it takes is a bad fight from Haas, and Snute can still make this happen. Being sacrificed, has to realize he doesn't need this many workers. He already has a bit of bank rolling. He'd rather spend some of that bank on a couple more Void Rays. Make sure he has the right composition against all these Corruptors. 11 Carriers, 6 Void Rays, and 11 Oracles. Currently going up against 20 Hydras and 17 Corruptors, the 2 Vipers, and the 13 Queens with high energy. It's the Queens with high energy I'm actually the most worried about for Haas, because I wonder if he's actually going to be able to deal with, and you know, what will feel like for him infinite numbers of transfusers coming on down during the engagements. So we're seeing the Vipers will have to again pick between those abducts and those parasitic bombs. I think you just parasitic bombs try and abduct this army, you're just going to be losing your units so quickly and so kind of consistently. It's going to be so difficult to actually make it a decent position. You know, it's still going to be so difficult to get something good out of it, you know. Revelation comes down and again, just a couple of those Crypt Tumors being picked off. This creep continue to go on down. Continue to go on down. Still, Corruptors, Hydras, and Infestors moving around up the top side. Still looking to see what else might happen here. Plus 2 Carapace in the skies for Snute. And plus 1 shields coming up still on this forge that's currently sat on the gold base. Cosmic Spray coming down. I mean, Snute's actually started to saturate this base to the far right because there's not as many oracles anymore. Haas doesn't have like the mass mobility of, you know, the mass mobility of being able to deny bases like he has in the past. Kind of interesting that Haas's base is actually on the gold and Snute's base is on Haas's gold. It's again, it's been weird. They've expanded in a way we just don't see Odyssey, you know, expanded on. Usually Odyssey is all about expanding down the left versus up the right and kind of clashing left to right, not expanding through the top and through the bottom and attacking up and down. It's a very interesting way for things to change. Very high-tech army here from Snute as he moves spores into the center of the map. Resources lost, by the way. It's just slightly unfavorable for Snute. It's definitely recoverable. 3,000 resources lost. There's not much of a difference. 20 minutes into game number 3. Snute still leads 2-0. And waits to see if he can make it 3-0 still. He has got a chance now. 3k, 1k against 8k, 3k in the bank. The problem is for Haas. His bank will be spent, but it spends very slowly because it takes forever to rebuild carriers. Snute's bank will spend much faster as he continues to mass up spore crawlers and she replaces them with drones. He needs to make sure he keeps the numbers of workers up. Still got this base to mine, this base to mine. He's still got mine on this base too. He's got an entire, what, 148 gas? It's what, 156 gas somewhere in here? He's got 125, 235. He's got a good few minerals left as well. He's got about 1,000. It's not a lot, but you know, it adds up. It's another couple of units. 4 Corruptors still on the way out. An extra Spore Crawler has been added in as well. There's just spores everywhere. Snute wants to make sure he can defend on all fronts if it's required of him. Corruptors goes to throw down just a lone pylon, may as well. Why not? 1,000 minerals in the bank. We're actually going to see a little bit of a fight breaking out over here. The Corruptors are a little bit late to join the fray. Lots of fungal growth being thrown down. Not sure where the parasitic bombs are. More fungals coming down. The carriers at the back. Corruptors are coming through, and they're starting to really get rid of a lot of this. A few Voiders left over here, and those Voiders will go down. Issue is, again, for Snute. For him to rebuild is quick, but he doesn't have the bank. For Haas, it's slow, but does Snute have enough to actually punish this here? That fight kind of came out of nowhere. That recall coming in at the last moment to save the day. 2 carriers and 6 voids lost. There wasn't actually that many units lost here really from the Protoss player. A lot lost from our Zerg and Snute. I mean, again, if he takes an advantage, it's momentary because, again, his bank is limited at the moment. He's setting up gases. He's actually more limited on gas than anything else, which is funny because he actually has the triple gas base, something which Haas does not have. 13 workers going down, I think, just sacrificed in somewhere. Just join up together. Spores just trying to relocate. It's funny because this position right here is really out of range of just so many of the spores, and obviously that's why Haas wanted to fight in this location out of all of them. Again, Corruptor's going to move back over to the left hand side. A few Corruptors just moving forward. They actually get themselves a creep tumor, but that'll be about all they get. Haas. Again, he's given up workers because he has enough of a bank. He's given up workers, he has nowhere else to really send them. So he may as well give them up and just increase room for more units in his setup here. I was picking away a few of these probes. The closest way will go down. This Nexus is about to fall over on the gold base. Picked away at. Meanwhile, gold base for Snute also going to be picked away at here. He actually had a lot of potential gas mining still in this base, so that's a bit of a shame. See him missing out on some of that because, again, gases is his limiting factor at the moment. He does have this base here. There's a lot of gases available in this base here which he hasn't saturated, so he can't go for that. And even this here, a gas not saturated. So just making mistakes. He's got so many minerals, nowhere near enough gas. Recall away. Well, again, no spores in this position. On the right hand side, it's his weakness. He's got spores all over the rest of the map. He's got a lot of them as well. We know that. He's got, what, 40 spore crawlers? They're all over the shop, as you can see. As we're going to be seeing the oracles actually flying through there momentarily. Just a long distance mining up here. We'll be seeing Snute just re-expanding, of course. No real issue for him on that as we see a few more pros giving up their lives. 14 of them. Haas is down to 21 workers. The scary thing about that for Haas is he still doesn't have that much gas, and if he does lose out on all, too many workers, and he does have his bank depleted, it's going to be very slow rebuilding the bank from here for him. Snute's maxed out again, but because he's got so many drones in comparison to his opponent, his actual size of army is somewhat small, but that is why he's got the static defense to help him out as well. Which base has the 3 guys as this base does. It's funny because I never saw it for absolutely ages. When I started casting this map, it took me absolutely forever to notice there's actually triple gas on here. Just because it's a base that no one even bothers to take. Doesn't have an observer, no robo? No, he has no robo. It's kind of an interesting game. Doesn't have Wolf Gate upgraded either. Just pure sky units. Pure sky units. Yes, there was always triple gases there, guys. It's been a thing forever. I know, I said the exact same thing when I found out. And everyone called me, I tweeted it, I was like, did you guys know? Everyone on Twitter was like, yeah, of course we did, you fucking idiot. How did you not know that? You meant to cast the game. It's like, oh, sad face. 2 Vipers, 8 Infestors, 28 Corruptors on the map, 10 Hydras as well. Still only 2 Vipers I do find interesting. I really feel as though it's something you would have probably tried to build more of by now. Parasitic Bomb just comes down, we see Fungals continue to latch onto the army. Try and slow it down just in range of the Spore Crawlers. Spore Crawlers actually momentarily just fighting all of these interceptors. And that's kind of painful to watch because they're not making very much progress. making very much progress, if any progress at all, through them. I'm just trying to come around the sides so they can start sniping down some of these carriers, but the Void Rays, they're going to get prismatically aligned. They're going to start destroying these Corruptors. A couple of Fungals, a couple of Infestors trying to perennial Parasite, but didn't really do too much either. And Snute is going to run out of units here trying to fight this, and Haas is going to be victorious again. His army was just so large originally, and it just helped him to push on through because he gave up all those workers and put his army into a position where it really did feel to be somewhat unkillable, honestly. We might not hit the 30-minute marker in this game because Snute is going to be losing bases, cancelling Corruptors. He's going to try and make the Corruptors gather them together, and then that's it. That's his chance to attack and to maybe end this game. But the reality is, even if he goes in with those Corruptors now, well, what then, you know? You fly in with the Corruptors, you lose everything. It's going to be game. Like, there's no way around this. What can you do to try and avoid fighting the army? I mean, you just don't, right? At this stage, you have to fight it. Snute's base is getting picked away. I mean, obviously, Snute will try and, sit back on side defense again for a while. These Corruptors and Snute going to come through the center. Just going in, we will see one Void Ray and two Void Rays getting picked off right there. Just a couple of Voids going down again. These few Overlords of Snute moving around as well. See what else might happen as we see some carriers starting to come on in. We see a Sport Crawler and a Hatchery getting picked off. Again, it's just a slow-moving army here from Haas, where eventually at some point Snute has to try and stand up against it, but down 90 army supply, it is not looking pretty. First Spire's going to go down 2, and we are going to see what's for the Hatchery taking quite a lot of damage fairly quickly. Sport Crawler once more. I mean, he's trying to rebuild a lair in 2 different locations, just hoping that one of them is going to survive. He's just hoping his static defense, along with units he's still building, might have a way back into this for him, but it's just not going to be enough. And this entire game was difficult for Snute. He was falling behind against Oracles consistently and consecutively. Fight after fight was just these Oracles manhandling Snute and just really taking advantage of him. He's pushing forwards. You see Haas on the way to a victory, I think. It's going to take a little while still. Maybe we see the Nexus getting taken down here by Corruptors. Sure, burrow the drones, and Revelation will come down. Haas is just going to keep on picking up all of these units and everything else. And Snute, again, at some point, Snute has to realize that this one is over and that he's going to have to go into a 4th game. Going to have to go into a 4th game again. A couple of carriers, interceptors getting to work. You can see the lair going down a spawning pool as well. He extracted to the side. Wolfers getting picked up, and again continue to push down the right side. Corruptors here. I mean, this is it, right? The final defense with the Queens and Corruptors. I mean, can he even transfuse fast enough? These Queens, the speed at which they're going down suggests that no, he can't. And we're just going to be seeing Snute. I think this will be as he loses this base. His final stand, his final attempt. And that'll probably be the moment when he realizes that GGs are in order for Haas to take the 3rd game of the series. I suppose back for a moment, actually, the carriers are actually out of interceptors. There's so many Void Rays getting to work, and as the interceptors rebuild, it becomes a whole new issue all over again. The Void Ray count is getting ruined by these Corruptors, though. Transfuser 2 coming down. Eventually, Haas breaks through. Soon holds on to this position for a lot longer than I thought he might. But again, I mean, even if he does, so what? Haas is mining, he's got bases. GG is called. It's 31 minutes for Haas to take down Snute. 131 subscribers. We are 3 away from our most ever subs on the channel. Thank you so much, everyone, for all the support. It's September. We really need to start thinking about what our new sub emote's going to be, maybe, because we're only 56 sub points away from a new sub emote. So I have to get some ideas for that in over the next few days. Thank you all for the support, do appreciate it. It's September, you get half price off your first time sub if you ever thought about subscribing, but have not. As we set into this, and let's get rolling. To the top left, or the left hand side of Catalina, our red Zerg player from Team Liquid losing out in game number 3. It was Snute. 31 minutes is what it took for this man right here, who at one point had 182 army supply of Skytoss. The Blue Cross player is Haas. I feel like Catalina is the sort of map that Haas just tries to 2-base all in on or something. It isn't the sort of map you want to play. It's a weird one. It's small. Skytoss would be very difficult to get away with on this map because of its size. Hydras, etc. are going to be very mobile and very quick to move around the map. As we set up into this. Stargate opening again. One of the more standard Stargate openers we've seen so far today out of the man Haas. See what he gets in towards here, as we do see Stargate will be finishing in. Our membership go on the way up is actually going to be a Phoenix coming out. This is so interesting to just push away this Overlord right away. Look at that, a third Nexus already coming down from Haas here, so just throwing that down super quickly. Super fast free Nexus coming down from the cheesy Protoss player, who this game is playing anything but cheese. Well, some people would like to call this economic cheese or greed cheese, you know, just because he's being so greedy in a way. Things coming over though, and he's going to see this, Snute. There is this pylon here though, but we should put up, and so overcharge is available. Snute not going to reveal the rest of his lings just yet, but he doesn't actually force an overcharge either. Going to regroup, regather, and get ready to go once more. Maybe he can actually just fight this overcharge no matter what now, because that pylon's already low health, and Haas does not drop it just yet. Haas, Oracle comes in, and neither pylon does finish, I suppose. And using the Oracle defensively is never a great sign, as we see Snute dropping his fairly fast lair, 4 minutes and 15 seconds for that lair to start building up right here. Shot still active there and reducing those things. He picked it way out, pylon going down. Oh, Haas. Hey guys, you remember when we said this guy was playing a fairly standard opener, maybe just being a bit greedy? Nah. Oh my god, 4th base dropping down. Pre-5 minutes, 2 more Stargates on the top right-hand side, and Snute is just absolutely clueless about it. I mean, what can you even say? What can you say? The Stargates will wall off, and I mean, we're going to see these Oracles again. Forge coming down, but don't let it fool you. He's not making a Forge to get upgrades. No, he's making a Forge to get cannons. Again, no Warp Gate from Haas. I mean, we should have seen it coming. He loves just playing the no Warp Gate PVZ. No Warp Gate PVZ. And as we set the Queens up here still. A couple of group units starting to push on forwards. Again, a few more Oracles on the way out. So as the Oracles gather together, we'll see if Snute can stop the snowball in this game. Last time he really did let things start to get out of control, and then he really never had an answer to it once they were out of control. Couple of Queens able to poke away. Doesn't lose anything just yet. 15 plans on the way up for those infestors that Snute wants to try and invest into, apparently. Dropping his 4th base as well. Again, Snute knows no idea at all about the upper right-hand side of the map. 2 Oracles come in and snipe down the drone, delaying the 4th by just a few extra seconds. Of course, when Haas had his own 4th base up so early, the later the Zerg gets their 4th base, the worse it will be for them. Join together. We'll try and fight these screens right now, and he will get rid of one very quickly. Transfusions are here though. One Oracle going down. And again, the Oracle's going to get pushed back. Again, enough units realistically for Snute to stay alive against this for now, to keep himself going against it. As Haas just continuing out on the Stargates. Hydra's coming out. No +1 missiles this time, I'd love to point out, by the way. He hasn't got a missile upgrade at all. He did go Infestation Paper, just hasn't done anything yet. I wonder if Snute is just going to mass Hydras and just really try and push super early with these Queens, etc. Look at this, he's actually already pulling down the left-hand side. So it looks as though Snute is going to go for this more sort of aggressive push. It's kind of funny. Snute's seen everywhere on the map apart from this base up here. Then again, I mean, you know, I say that, but obviously you may have seen that early, you know, being around the map earlier rather than more recently. Wasn't exactly constantly paying attention there. You're going to see Hydra's pushing in. One single overcharge will not slow these down. One Hydra forced to push on through this position. And what Snute thinks is the fourth base currently of Haas is currently under fire, and it will go down. So that base falls. We're just going to be seeing the Lings, the Hydras, a couple of Queens, some Snute. Just gathering up together again. The Queens, he's happy. He just cancelled the base. What he thinks is the fourth, so I mean, he's just getting more creep on the map. Now, he was very kind of creeped up all series long. He's been very good at spreading that creep throughout the games. So you just see this Phoenix up top, moving around as well. A few Zerglings to the right. And I still just expected him to find this hidden base. What's up, Gurney? Coming into the chat with the 22-month resub. Huge resub coming in right there. Let's see some Wardy hearts up in the chat, please. One of our longest subscribers. Hello, how you doing? Thanks for the 22 months. We appreciate it. We're going to see these oracles drop those pulsar beams and pick their way through a whole bunch of those Zerglings. Infestors continue to come down through the center. Continue to position themselves here. Putting themselves between the bases. Hydras and Infestors to back this up again. Snute +1 missiles is about to finish, so it's a good time for him to push. He's got Neural Parasite as well in case he feels he needs it. 1 or 2 arms supply to 81. The Oracles are on the wrong side of the map as Snute doesn't push into the natural. But he could push into the third base. I think that's definitely a viable kind of way for him to approach this right now. The Oracle's going across the map. Obviously, no, the Hydras aren't in position at home either, though. This doesn't turn into a base trade, does it? It could. You know, it actually kind of could. Well, Hydras working their way through this Nexus still. So many drones are going down. Obviously, that's the strength of the Oracles. They get rid of workers very quickly. This hatchery's starting to fall. And again, now the pros will start to fall as well as this Nexus on this side has gone down. And Snute will be feeling kind of okay about this. A few pros getting picked off. The problem for Snute is obviously he's just going to struggle to actually hunt those Oracles down to get rid of them. Now the Oracle's out of energy, it's a good time for Snute to actually keep on being aggressive rather than pulling back home, I feel. It's sort of like Swarm Host, you know, when they're on cooldown, it's a good time to fire. Ooh, I like the idea of a few meters coming out, but is it actually going to be able to do a lot? I mean, it'll push these units away for a little while. Again, 4th Nexus here, which is actually the 5th because of this base up here, which isn't even mining that much. It's just the gas he's mining off of it, which is obviously still great. It wouldn't be that detrimental if he actually lost that base, though. Snute stand up again, send his meters to the side. He actually made quite a few of these meters to force some Phoenix out. Not sure how much I really like that. Creep's still pushing down the left side of the map. Faster meters moving forward, and we're now going to see those Queens working their way through one of the cannons here at the very front. Cannon is going to get taken down, and we're going to be seeing the overcharges dropping down as well. The overcharges coming into play again will open the options of Snute being able to continue pushing into this position, perhaps. Go, Queens push on forwards, Hydra's here too. I mean, it's not really a difficult position for Snute to break, because the Oracles are once again just out in the center of the map. They continue to fly around, and the Snute needs to really hit just the fungal growth on the Oracles at the same time as having the Hydras nearby. He actually does hit one right there, which is great and all, but he needs a bit of a follow-up, and he just doesn't have that just yet. Festus all over the place right now, still looking for a bit of a money fungal. That's a nice fungal. Not quite a money fungal, but he does get a good few Oracles because of it. Some of them just wandering forwards on their own. Oh, Snute, that's one hell of a fight right there. There's a lot of Oracles going down for nothing. Still Queens left over here picking up this base. Snute thinks he's got Haas down at 2 bases. Well, there is that now essentially 3rd base up to the top right-hand side. Snute still just doesn't know about it. Oracles coming down the left. Phoenix as well. Haas still just seeing what he can do in the next few minutes. As you do see the yeah, it's just going to come in towards the natural expansion. A couple more Hydras popping out. In fact, a lot of Hydras going to push at the front. There's a stasis here. There's a lot of cannons. Sort of the issue, right? Again, Snute thinks he's got him cornered down at just 2 bases. He should really start rechecking around the map. Like, recheck the bases. Make sure Haas hasn't got another base, because the realistic, you know, situation is... the realistic situation is if Snute doesn't get rid of that base, it's just going to keep hassling the game. It's not necessarily going to lose Snute the game. It's just going to keep hassling the game. Snute has them pretty well confined over here to just these 2 bases, which are, of course, beginning to mine out. 400 gas left, a few hundred minerals. A little bit more than the natural, of course. We're only 12, 30 minutes in. Oracles come through and pick up a base of Snute, though. Over here, the Spawn's going to try and get to work. Queens will try and run away with the drones. Another dead hatchery very shortly. Hydra's gathering together, though, and if those infestors were to grab a fungal off the Hydras nearby, well, it could definitely be very interesting. Again, Queen's gathering up. Again, set to go all over again. 4 more carries on the way. Hey, the mutants have found the base! They've done it. Alright, well, Snute knows about this base, and if he clicks around, it actually looks like a very freshly taken base, but some of these patches are much more mined out than the others. But it's the gas that's really heavily mined. 2.4k gas has been mined over here, and now Snute knows where to push to force Haas to react and to come in and to defend against this. He's just going to poke and prod the oracles on the way out. By the way, Snute doesn't really have mining bases himself anymore. The income is very low for Snute here. Haas has been controlling that sort of aspect of the game. Snute begins to push on up. Again, this is the last kind of mining base of Haas, really. I mean, okay, the natural still is just about mining, but not very well. Oracles flying around. The Queen's actually going to gather up together here. They're against the Oracles on their own at the moment. They're just going to have to start fighting with mass transfuse each other as they want to just be able to try and keep this kind of army away. Phoenix coming in as well. They're not really needed to clean out the Queens, though. Hydra's on their way back over. He didn't actually manage to deny this base, and he actually didn't even leave some mutes over there to get rid of it either. You're going to be seeing Snute. Suddenly just lost all of his Queens. Still 116 to 85 army supply. Keeps the base alive, though, which is important. He needs to keep some economy, some mining of his own. Don't understand why he didn't leave 5 or 10 Hydras to his top right-hand side, because if he had, he would have been able to just shut down this entirety, this entire base of mining, basically. Hydras, Corruptors, Cult Mutants, and these Infestors too, all just gathering on up. Still, we just haven't seen the Infestors land in a fungal or finding a fungal growth to land here this game. And that's obviously been one of the issues as well from Snute. Just not finding those fungals. It's been allowing these oracles just move. He doesn't, not allowing the oracles, but the oracles have allowed themselves to kind of walk around somewhat freely. On the left side here, we see a bunch of probes going down. 14 of them picked off. What got sent back up to the upper right? Just a few infested Terrans coming down, actually. Trying to pick off some probes. Not too many, though. And again, that mining up here is still Haas's only mining base. I'm not sure. The thing is, Snute's afraid of, moving closer towards it to properly shut it down, because if he does, well, he leaves his own base completely open to attack. Haas going to try and expand all the way over here now. So again, another position that Snute will kind of struggle to deal with a little bit, as we're going to see. Why did he turn all the oracles on just to deal with these lings? I don't know. Anyways, more oracles or more lings on the way over. Oracles will have to stay there. A couple lings are actually burrowed as well. Again, just trying to bait out energy of the Hydras. He actually finds this base down here with a few circles, so that's nice. Snute on top of these extra bases now, knowing that if he can just stop these bases from mining, he should be able to just outmine his opponent eventually, and should be able to just stop any more units from coming up onto the map. All these Hydras and Infestors going to the right-hand side. Corruptors starting to come up, and as the Corruptors come up, it's again about being in the right position at the right time. He's going to leave the Corruptors here, which is going to be guaranteed down just the Oracles. Nice catch. A couple Oracles just to help pick them up, and again, Snute starting to get more control of this right now as the time passes by. He's getting more and more in a comfortable position, I feel. I feel as though he's feeling as though he's a bit more comfortable. Only 22 workers left for Haas. They're pretty much all on this base. Barely anything left over in his natural. He's only got 600 gas left to mine here. Corruptors there coming in to try and deflect the Oracles right away. And even the Oracle count is starting to get a little bit lower. 18 of them left. 62 workers going down in the last few moments as, well, Haas is now on 5 workers. And Snute looks as though he might just about have this game completely under control. A couple carries have been mixed in, a few Void Rays added on too, I guess, to try and fight over against the Corruptors. I guess is his goal here, perhaps. He's going to work their way through this Nexus still. And again, this is going to be the final mining Nexus of our Protoss player taken out of the game. This base gets denied, he'll just pick off the assimilator just in case it becomes some crazy base trade. He doesn't want a random assimilator up top that I didn't kill earlier, maybe. Coming back to haunt him. I mean, he shouldn't really haunt him, but there's no how it can go. Shadows over here getting picked up, though. That's a little bit messier. More Corruptors on the way out. Snute, this base up as well now has just another option as to where he can send his workers. And because his natural got denied so much, he's still mining minerals here. In fact, quite a lot of them as well. So Snute's actually quite comfortable just sitting on what was kind of his initial 4 bases, because he hasn't been mining that much throughout the entirety of the game. The way it has been denying workers, denying bases, and all the rest of it. Snute still has creep everywhere, so he knows exactly where this army is and what it looks like at any point in time. Hydras and Corruptors getting a good initial shot. Fungals gonna try and come out here, but the revelation on the Infestors is obviously very nice. Spore's gonna relocate, and this is gonna be the fight. Fungal growth going down. Hydras therefore can fight from a distance. That's the sort of fight that Snute initially needs, but is it gonna be enough? The Corruptors are very slow to come forward here, it feels. Snute does have those Spore cores as well, though, and it looks as though it is gonna be enough for Snute in the end. GG! Snute takes